Hey, I'm Alicia from Move Mountains Physio. Today we're talking about the squat. Now the squat is a really important functional exercise. It's a good one to train. We use it all day long when we sit in a chair, get into and out of the car, even bending down to get something out of the cupboard. That said, I find in the gym it is often trained in an overly restricted way and made overly complicated. So when I ask people to show me their good squat technique, it often sounds something like this. Well, you put your feet wide, turned out, you make sure the knees go wide, keep the weight into your heels, and then squeeze your bum. Now, as I said, we use the squat all day long. It is a functional exercise. This means we need really good variability and adaptability in the technique so that we can do all the things that we need to be able to do in life. If you only train one position of squat, you're actually training imbalance into your body. You're creating a real preference for that one position. This is fine if all you want to be able to do in life is sit down wide on a bench seat, but if you want to be able to snuggle in close to someone on the couch, you'll find that this actually gets quite difficult and potentially even painful if you're so used to doing a wide squat. So you can absolutely train in a wide position, but you definitely want to make sure that you're also training a narrow squat, a split squat, even variations of lateral lunges or lateral squats. When I train squat in the clinic, I try to keep it pretty simple. It is essential that we maintain neutral spine, the S shape, tailbone out, chest up. The other area that I like to cue people into is their feet. Now there are some cues getting around at the moment about keeping weight in the heels, even lifting the toes, with the idea being that this helps to activate the glutes. The thing is that's not actually how it works in our bodies, and keeping the weight in the heels actually makes it more difficult for us to find that good neutral spine. If you don't believe me, you can try this one. So my good neutral spine, tailbone out, chest up. If I put the weight into my heels and come down, you can see I start to lose my neutral spine pretty quickly. I'm tucking my tailbone under, and I even feel like I need to bring my arms forward to stop myself from falling backwards. If I bring the weight a bit more evenly through my feet, you can see I start to open out, and even more so if I actually grip with my toes, it activates my back muscles and I'm in a beautiful S-shaped position. This is how I should be doing my squats. We definitely do not want to squeeze the bum. Squeezing the bum tucks the tailbone under. We want to keep the tailbone out so that we can actually activate our glutes properly. In order to do that, keep the weight into the toes. There's a real relationship between the toes and your neutral spine position. I often hear cues around trying to guide where the knees go, not letting them come in or too far forward. To be honest, I like to leave the knees alone. If we try and get people controlling their knees, I find it tends to just mess with their foot control. If we try and keep the knees out, you'll often roll onto the outsides of the feet, which is not ideal. If you do squat and the knees come forward, you look a little bit like this. Also not a great squat, but the problem is not the knees here. It's that you need to stick the tailbone out and sit into it more. Keep that neutral spine position. So take home message is you want to train some variability in your squat. All different ranges. Keep it really simple, keep that neutral spine, keep the weight even through the feet, even using those toes. If you still have knee pain using these cues, get in touch, we can figure it out, but the answer is slightly more complicated. Otherwise, I'll see you next week.